Hello K-pop lovers, welcome back to this channel. Tonight we're going to talk about a moment that at first seemed simple. Just a short trailer, a quiet release. No long announcement, no dramatic press conference, no grand introduction. And yet, within hours, the entire K-pop world began talking about it. On March 5th, 2026, a trailer titled BTS, The Comeback Live Arirang quietly appeared online. No warning. Just a video uploaded, and suddenly the internet stopped for a moment. Fans clicked, then watched again, and again. Within a few hours, the numbers began to climb. 10 million views, 20 million, 30 million, until the trailer eventually surpassed 50 million views in less than a day. But strangely, the conversation online was not only about the comeback. It was about one person, Taehyung, or as the world knows him, V. In the trailer, the camera slowly moves through a series of cinematic shots. Dim lighting, a calm, almost haunting atmosphere. Each member appears briefly, creating a quiet anticipation for what's coming next. And then, the camera pauses. There he is, Taehyung, standing under soft lighting, wearing a black outfit decorated with floral accents. Elegant, mysterious, almost poetic. For a moment, he says nothing. He simply looks forward, his expression calm, yet carrying a depth that many viewers immediately noticed. It wasn't the powerful stage charisma fans were used to seeing. Instead, it felt quieter, more reflective, more emotional, and that's when the discussions began. Within minutes of the trailer's release, social media exploded with reactions. Did anyone else notice Taehyung in that scene? Why does his expression feel so different? Something about that moment feels emotional. Fans began replaying the clip over and over again. Some slowed it down, some paused on certain frames, because somehow that short moment felt meaningful. The black outfit with floral patterns quickly became another topic of conversation. Why flowers? Was it simply a design choice? Or was there a deeper artistic message behind it? One fan wrote, "It feels like the concept is telling a story, and Taehyung is at the center of it." Another fan commented, "His expression looked calm, but also a little sad." Did anyone else feel that? Of course, these interpretations came entirely from the audience. No official explanation had been given about the deeper meaning behind the visuals. But in the world of K-pop, fans are known for noticing the smallest details. And this trailer was full of details. There was one moment in particular that many viewers couldn't stop talking about. A brief scene, only a few seconds long. Taehyung stands still, the camera slowly approaching him, and just before the shot ends, he glances toward the lens. Not dramatically, not with exaggerated emotion, just a quiet look. But somehow that look felt powerful, almost like a silent message. Fans began sharing screenshots of that exact moment across different platforms. Some described it as artistic, some described it as mysterious, and some simply said, "There's a story behind that expression." A few days after the trailer was released, something interesting happened. An old interview clip of Taehyung began circulating online again. In that interview, Taehyung once said something that now felt strangely connected to the moment in the trailer. He said, "Sometimes silence can say more than words." It was a simple sentence, but suddenly, fans began linking it to the quiet atmosphere of the comeback teaser. Was it intentional? Was the concept meant to feel introspective? Or were fans simply interpreting emotions through the lens of their own excitement and anticipation? The truth is no one outside the production team knows for sure. And it's important to remember that much of this discussion comes from fan interpretations rather than confirmed statements. But that's also what makes moments like this so fascinating. Because sometimes, art doesn't need a clear explanation. Sometimes, it simply creates a feeling, and that feeling spreads across timelines, across countries, across millions of fans. As the trailer continued to gain views, one thing became very clear. The anticipation for BTS's comeback on March 20th, 2026 was enormous. Army around the world began counting the days. Some fans said the trailer felt more mature compared to previous eras. Others said the concept seemed quieter, more cinematic, almost like the beginning of a larger story. And through all of those discussions, Taehyung's scene continued to stand out. One fan wrote something that quickly went viral. He didn't need to say anything, but somehow we felt everything. Thousands of people agreed with that sentiment. Because in the end, that's often what makes a performer unforgettable. Not just their voice, not just their visuals, but their presence. The ability to convey emotion, even in silence. Over the years, BTS has gone through many different eras. Bright concepts, powerful performances, deep storytelling through music. And every comeback has carried its own unique atmosphere. But this time, the trailer feels different. Quieter, slower, almost like the calm before something big. And perhaps that's why Taehyung's moment resonates so strongly. Because sometimes the quietest scenes leave the deepest impressions. As the countdown to March 20th continues, fans around the world are waiting. Waiting for the full performance. Waiting for the music. Waiting to finally understand the story behind the visuals we saw in that trailer. Was Taehyung's expression simply part of the artistic concept? Or was it a hint, a subtle emotional tone for the comeback era? At this point, we can only speculate. But one thing is certain. A short trailer, only a few moments long, managed to capture the attention of millions of people across the globe. And at the center of that conversation was Taehyung, standing quietly in a black floral outfit under soft lighting, leaving the audience with more questions than answers. And sometimes that's exactly what great storytelling does. It leaves you thinking, it leaves you wondering, and it keeps you watching, waiting for the next chapter. Now I want to hear from you. What did you feel when you watched the trailer for BTS, the comeback live Arirang? Did Taehyung's moment stand out to you as well? Or do you think fans might be reading too deeply into the scene? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Because in the world of K-pop, sometimes the quietest moments create the loudest conversations. And right now, the whole world is waiting to see what BTS will reveal next.